I'll tell you when we're live.
I like that. That was good. That should have been
Yeah, and we're live for 7 seconds in.
7 seconds. Hot dog, movies.
Five 5 minute countdown. We'll go live for the show at 9:10. I'm just gonna get the last things ready for the show. Boys, I had 8 fucking meetings today, starting at 8 a.m. and my last one at 3:30. I am kind of done with talking today, so we could just cut to the chase and talk about how bad the Galaxy was, how bad the Galaxy will be, and how bad the Galaxy
Angel, you've been wrong back to
forever be.
Yeah, I have been.
And we keep it
I have
concise
been
today.
a little bit.
Yoda? Oh, we're talking about it today. We're talking about it today. No, not yet. I need to see facial expressions when we talk about this, boys.
I was just already sad. And I just need to see them win.
It would be nice.
You didn't go to the game. That's why.
Yeah. But I will tell you, when we got scored on both games, the first one, okay, that was like, all right.
That was it. That's where the hope died every time.
Yeah, I wasn't even. I was like,
Ain't that fucked up?
It was even like, hey, they can fight back. We'll be back.
It just.
At that point, it's just because I have to. That's my team. I have to suffer.
But I prefer. I prefer when I'm optimistic, and even if it's like falsely held and shit, right? Like, because they're not good, but I'm still optimistic. I prefer that feeling to what I have right now, which is, yeah, they lost again, fucking idiots. We're ass. And when I don't care, like, I don't like that feeling. Our team is bad. But we'll get into it for the show. So stick around, chat. Follow my man Glenn one time and hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, and we're still trying to get that. I mean, yeah, but still, he said to smash the like button. So, like, yeah, let's do that.
You call him a civil war?
Is it Omega Ronnie, ACB Rock Bottom, the 138 slot times for the Galaxy? Man, your opinion. Don't hate it. I think personally don't like it, but yo, after the disrespect that was been online, come on. It just petty at this point. The chat.
The chat. OMG Ronnie.
It's a little ironic that the one could feel offended while doing offending as well. Well, being offensive. It is what it is. Won't get too deep into that. But we could talk in person if anybody wants.
I mean, at least people that talk actually show who they are.
Again, no beef with anybody's opinion, though. Just kind of don't think we'll just have too much of a discourse of that on the show. Let's go. We're 2 minutes away. We'll start the show. Get this going. Try to get in and try to get out pretty quick. That's all I was saying, boy. It's a fucking long day. I'm trying to fucking smoke some.
You have
Chill out. Dog, I only had 2 bowls today, which is like an all-time low. Throughout my whole day, dog. Throughout my whole fucking day. It's been a 13-hour day so far. More, a 14-hour day so far, and only 2 bowls. I feel depressed. Depression is real, boys, without the weeds. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Or maybe that's what that gave you the depression, maybe.
The weeds? Nah, how dare you? Blasphemy.
Yeah, that's right. I knew that was take the
Blasphemy, son. What are you doing to me right now? All right, here we go. Let's get ready. Cut the dope ass beat off. And yeah.
gran cumbión, loco, you know?
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm good.
you should put
We don't have the rights for that.
Money at Backlash.
We don't have the rights for that. So I'll stick to this dope ass beat.
Oh, that's
We'll do it right now.
Hit him up.
Hey,
All right.
síguele, zumba. Hey, hey.
Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4 my supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is Straight.
Good evening. Glenn says Angel's audio is a little low.
See, I was telling her I
Uh,
can't hear myself well either, and I checked my audio. Everything sounds fine on my end.
let me see. I
I
can
think
bump
you
you
go
up a
in the
little bit.
settings.
I can bump you up a little bit. Yep. Let me do that.
That's what I
Let
was
me
asking
bump
you.
you
I'm
up.
like, can you guys
Put
hear
your
me?
mouth over the mic when you talk. There's that one
Chat. Let us
Snapchat
know. I
that
bumped up
I
the audio for. Ooh, I kind of blocked that off too, huh?
Yeah,
Chat.
it's
Let me
okay.
know. I update the audio for Angel. Let us know if it's any better. Keep us
Sonido.
informed.
Sí. Uno, dos, tres.
Uh,
Sí,
Sonido.
sí, sí.
Sonido. Saludos
what
a la
up?
quinceañera.
I'm gonna start with you, Angel, because you've been a face that we've missed for the last
Oh
couple of weeks.
man.
How you doing, baby? Talk to me. Talk to me. And are you here for good now? Talk to me. I need to hear all about this. Come on.
You know how we talked about my hiatus, right, for
Mm-hmm.
different reasons, and it's worked out. Things have panned out well. I'm gonna work for a good ass company, dope ass company. As you guys know, last week I missed the pod because literally the day before I got news that I got a promotion. Promotion
Yeah,
means that
talk
I'm
to me,
running,
baby.
yeah, baby. Gonna be running my own account. Operating. I haven't gotten the exact. I'm already started the account, but I haven't dug details into how deep the financials go for the account that I'm running in terms for my customer site.
Mm-hmm.
But I would imagine it might be close to a Fortune 500 company, right? So already as it is, I work for a Fortune 500 company. Now I'm probably
You're
operating one, but it's
managing.
a small scale right now. Yeah, small scale right now. But part of the plan is to come the process that I'm implementing right now is to make it scalable. We plan on growing that account. So it's good on that front, man. I mean, got a promotion, running my own account.
Hey,
It's
can I
fucking
just stop,
great times,
can I
baby.
stop you there for 1 second and say big congrats? I know it was a time coming because I know you're looking forward to this.
Yeah,
Big congrats. I know it took a little bit, but I'm fucking so super happy for you. Super proud of you. Congrats on that.
yeah,
yes,
man.
sir.
It's crazy. We were just talking about earlier about me being an idiot. We're not stupid, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah. And I
here we
thought
are.
this.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. It's
Te manda saludos Shay Salinas, fool.
ese hijo de puta me la pela.
um,
No, but on the real, I have no words. Just grateful for the people around me. I've been fortunate to be at a great account. The last account I was an account where people got promotions into director spots, into VP spots, and senior manager spots. So I started in the account when other people were at scrub level, and they've
uh,
all gone up, and you just happen to be at the right place, right time. Met the right people, and now I got there. And I'm at this point, I guess I consider mid-level management. It's just up from that point. So that work life of that side is great,
dope
man.
man,
It's
dope
great.
man.
I love it.
And
Um,
I know having something like that like creates a lot of peace at home. So I'm super happy for you. I'm glad
oh
it's there.
man,
And then you
it's
top that off. You top that off with something we've all been waiting for
yeah.
since I think last season of the pod when we started talking about this. Talk to me about
So
how
back
was
to back.
Eli's reaction?
So the first one, futsal. Did we talk about the futsal? We didn't, huh? So tail end of actually the beginning of this year, we found out that Eli's last year's coach was going to be leaving the team. He was going to be responsible for one team. He just had too much on his plate. So the current director of the club was going to be taking over Eli's current club age group, right? The academy team, which is the top level that he can play for the club he plays for. But because of that coach from last year, he couldn't finish out their futsal season. So I stepped in as interim coach to finish out the year.
Vaya
Um,
mierda. Vaya
Championship,
mierda.
baby!
Vaya
Championship,
mierda.
baby!
The
Listen,
interim
you
coach
guys were
we
out here in
needed.
the
I didn't
pod.
realize it.
You guys were out here in the pod last year. They lost 5 straight finals. I take over 1 year. Listen, I'm not saying I'm Pep Guardiola, but you never seen us the same place, same time. So all it took, right? Champ, say, campeones, campeones,
Campeones.
ole,
Hey, let's
ole, ole.
go. Hey, congrats, little
Hey.
champ.
Yeah, but
That's so
so
tight,
we
man.
did that. We did that. We won futsal. And then Eli was been fortunate to be invited by the parent club, the San Diego Albion, which is the main club, to help them out in this tournament they had this past weekend in Temecula. And he helped them get there to the championship. And Eli won his first chip, his first official
On
club level
field.
championship. Yeah, after
Let's
five
go.
straight losses, back-to-back championships. Yeah, and this one was crazy to me because now the futsal Eli's motherfucker's just nuts, bro. But the level that he played in this last game in the
Mm-hmm.
final,
Mm-hmm.
no stats. Like I mean, I can't think of it like Marcelo Sarva's days, where he was doing all the dirty work. We
impact.
noticed, right? Because we know what he's doing, right? He's putting in these tackles, he's doing the hard work. He was probably our MVP in the majority of that season, but he wasn't getting the recognition because he wasn't David Beckham. He wasn't Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
He wasn't Juninho. Making these big moments, but he was the backbone of the team. Without Marcelo Sarvas in those years, we're not champion, right? We're
It's
not
a lot
a champion.
of the work, a lot
Yeah,
of work
exactly.
that is felt, but not necessarily seen in the stats and shit.
And his work rate, and especially in the last two games, but in that final was nuts to me. I mean, Eli straight up was the MVP in that final, and it wasn't even close.
That's
So
fucking what's up, man.
not only did he step up, they won it. I know he felt the relief, the tears in his eyes and everything. That wasn't what he was in his team. It was the invitational team. So I'm excited for what's going to happen right now with his actual team when they start they do their first tournament. Is not this weekend, but next weekend, Mother's Day weekend. The weekend after Mother's Day is their first club, like his club, his actual team, his team's first tournament.
Talk to me about of what you noticed from Eli when they won, and then I want to know about how you felt when your boy finally got the chip, because I know it was a time coming, so I'm trying to hear about this.
It's no secret. I mean, I'm very passionate about the sport, right? You guys have all seen it. You guys know me. Even when we play together on fucking Thursdays in those shitty leagues, I have a fucking attitude, right? I want to win. I always want to win. Even if we're fucking losing, winning, whatever it is, need to find. That's just been my attitude, and I'm hard on him for sure, like 100%. I mean, Masa, you've seen me with Eli. You've been in some of his games. You see how intense I get with him, but he can hone it well. He responds to it great. Like he does. There's
That's
some
dope.
kids they shut down. They go crying. Like there's a kid in our team right now who he does not respond well to that, but he's a really good player. The moment that he lets go of that and he hones that instead of owning that, especially because these boys are playing finals, like they're playing high intense finals. They're playing high intense games.
It's
very emotional. The parents are involved. The refs are dealing with. The coaches are dealing. Like everyone's putting this pressure on these boys, and they have to learn how to handle it. And Eli has played so many finals now. He's lost most of them, but he's been in so many pressure situations now that he's learning how to handle it. And he just zones everything out. He just fucking does his thing. So
you can focus and shit. That's dope, man.
Watching him do it, I mean, my relief, and it wasn't even relief. It's the joy. I mean,
Euphoria.
We spend so much. You can't explain it, Rudy. It's explainable. Like there are no words to describe the feeling that we had. Especially me. I mean, we from the moment this motherfucker started walking, we were pushing. He just showed signs of I've given everything that he's ever needed to be Eli, right? I mean, from private sessions to me analyzing games with him to futsal sessions to missing our weekends, waking up at 6 a.m. to get to the tournaments at 8. I mean, sometimes 5. This past weekend for this tournament, he had his club game in Bellflower. We live in Riverside. His game was at 8 a.m. We woke up at 5:30. We left here at 6:30. We got to Bellflower at 7:10. He warmed up, played his game. As soon as that game finished in Bellflower, we hauled ass to Temecula an hour and a half so he can make it in time for his first game, which was only an hour later after we got there. And then we stayed in Temecula all day. That very next day, same shit, bro. We woke up at whatever. Actually, the game was a bit later, so we were able to wake up like around 8. Slept in like an extra hour or two. But still, you're up early, and then we're all with the expectations that, okay, if he makes it, we're going to be here all day. And we were there all day. So it's the sacrifices, sure, definitely financial. It takes a toll for sure. I don't go to Muay Thai anymore. Sometimes I come home, I don't have the energy to go to the gym because we go to his training and we're here and just don't have it. But our energy, our time, everything, our money is going into him, and it's paying off for sure. And he's just responding well to everything. So both Lisa and I are happy. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, there's no words. It's just the sacrifice is all worth it, especially when he won. It's man, I can't wait. I want more of it.
Love to hear it. But I gotta shut you up because to give you 10 minutes to kind of give a recap, and I appreciate it. I would love to hear it, but we gotta move.
When he's a champion, baby, back to back.
I'm happy about it. Big congrats to Eli. Congrats to you too, because it's a payoff, I'm sure, like after all the sacrifice that you were talking about. So congrats to you as well. Let me check in real quick with Masa and George. How you guys doing? I see you guys every week. So real quick, how you guys doing? How's the weekend? We good?
We're good. We gotta minimize our time, baby.
Yeah. All right, baby. Let's move. Let's move in, and let's go into news. We have a little less prepared than we usually are, but I've seen some shit online today. Anybody got word on how much weight and how much truth there is to the AEG executives meeting to discuss Vanny and CK? Any truth to that? You guys know?
Masa,
hope
you're the
so.
man with the facts.
I don't
Hell
know.
no.
I didn't even bother reading that shit.
I didn't look for it either, but I
Uh,
went on their page, on Dario's AS page, like on Instagram. I didn't see anything on there, so I'm guessing you might have to go on their
It's
website
on
to
Twitter
find it,
for sure.
some article. But
But yeah, I didn't bother. Honestly, though, I don't believe shit till it's official. So
that's where I'm at.
That's fair.
Yep.
so let's speculate, for content, let's speculate a little bit here, okay? Because I want to have a conversation of this because George, I think Masa got involved a little bit, had a impromptu Discord conversation earlier. So I want to bring this up because I asked the question on Discord: if we get rid of any, who do you bring in right now? Right now, right? Who do you bring in right now that at the end of the season is not going to need to get rid of 8 players to bring in 8 players of his choosing? Understanding that we have contracts, understanding that the budget cap. Like, who do you bring in right now?
my main question is if Klein is still here, or
Yeah,
if
no,
he's gone with Vanny. That's my
so
question.
yeah, fair enough, right? Because like I think that's a big implication for me as well. The way I've been thinking about it, because I'm under the assumption that I don't think CK goes until the end of the season, and that's if we don't make Western
See,
Conference Final, which
We're
is
not making
see,
playoffs.
hold on. But that's a thing that CK kind of said with his player with the fan base. I think AEG could trump that and be like, you know
yeah,
what, we're cutting it
100%.
now.
Yep.
You know, that's between. So let's. I don't think that should be the end all be all. Like he told us something. AEG
No.
ultimately says this man stays or this man goes. He could say whatever
100%.
he wants.
I've been under the assumption or going with the idea of CK not being touched to the end of the season. Like that's what I've been going with. Like, but if we want to switch it up and say, or actually let's open up to that, right? Like what happens? What do you guys, if it was to happen, right? Where AG says, nah, we're not even giving you to the end of the season. This shit is a fucking mess. This is rock bottom, right? I propose that question as a title. Is this rock bottom? AG feels it is. They get rid of both of them. What's the game plan right now? 10 games into the season with 1 victory, six draws and whatever losses or whatever the record stays, but we have one win in 10 games. Who do you bring?
A
in?
lot
What's
of it
the
had
game
to
plan?
show with the last game because we've been holding on to a lot of Cheech is not there, Ricky's not there. We've been holding a lot to that. It's fair for us to say we don't really rely on Douglas Costa. So that's kind of the outlier. He is a DP, which is a valuable asset to what could be a team. He's not it for us. So this last game, without getting into it, just for perspective on this, was a really good identifier of what could happen. We've seen the upside of it. Now we've seen what really could happen and what's the downside of it.
And what feels like it's more of the tone for the season, right? Because like this season right now, like
so again, it's fair. It's fair for AEG to listen. You don't like to hear this? I'll say it again. It's fair for them to feel like, you know what? Let's wash our hands with this season. I'm personally on the listen. I've been Vanny out for about a year, more than a year already. I've been yelling it from the rooftops for a while already that I don't like the way he coaches. I don't feel that he manages a team well. The saving grace last year was Ricky and Brugman coming in. And I kind of I kind of allocated that. My analogy was you winning the poker hand on a river card. He did well, but I think that's a team that played themselves. Like an LAFC game, you put those teams out and they play.
But see, like,
I think that's what we got at the end of the season. I think that's listen to me. Yeah.
Let me ask something, right? Because here's the double sided situation you put yourself in. Because we're saying we saved our season in the last 10 games, right? That's
our summer transfer.
Last 10 games, because that's like it didn't happen. Our streak happened in the last 10 games with Pooch, like kind of came alive, right?
Yes.
But we're saying this season is a wash with 10 games in.
It's a wash, bro.
10 games in.
Listen,
It's a wash.
We managed a Western Conference semifinals appearance on a 10-game stretch. But we're saying that 10 games into the season is a wash.
But that was with one. Listen, you and me arguing for the first portion of the season about them being at their place.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I told you too. And I told you too. Like, at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, I thought I was in the losing end of that bet that we had.
And
Because I
imagine
didn't
you
see-
were on the losing end of that
Yeah.
with a great start.
No, it wasn't a
It
great.
was a great start. Third place.
Okay.
Third place is a great start.
After how? But wait a minute. See, like again, I'm
See,
sure.
but that's
I'm
not
sure.
fair. That's not fair
No.
because you're
Because
arguing.
you argued against
No,
that.
no. You're arguing. You're saying I wasn't a great start. But last season when we were having this discussion, it was like, man, how can y'all be? We're in third place. We chilling right. Like
Mhm.
you can't be on both sides of that same
But
thing.
see, now you're arguing something different, right? Because
No, I'm not because
you are,
because
because
you're saying that there's 10 games to save us, and what I'm saying is
you're saying that
two-
10 games changed our thought, not only on the season but on CK last year, because
No,
again, last year when we finished the season, the common tone here was the CK that earned himself another year, and we can't argue that because that was the common tone in between amongst us, right? This pod is that he had to earn himself another year with the results that we got. 1 year, right?
1 year.
The argument right now is that you're saying we saved our season last year, right? In our opinion, Klein got an extension last year because 10 games, or the summer after summer.
On the foundation of a great start. It's not just 10 games.
But that's what you've been arguing, right? Like the only reason we saved those is because we had 10 games at the end with Ricky. That's the only reason we got there.
But we also had a good start, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so but we had a horrible summer and midway through, and then we
Yeah,
picked
it
up
was
in.
bad.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
again, we're 10 games out right now, and again, I'm not. All I'm trying to say is like the argument is flawed because I don't believe it. I don't believe that we're gonna turn around and see the same results we got last year. I don't believe.
Okay,
that
so
right.
all right, so
let's
we're
be-
arguing. So the last 10 games and the first 10 games, third place. So they did well for 2/3 of the season. Let's break it down. We're almost a third into the season.
Yeah.
So now we're saying we have to play the way that we played in 2/3 of that season. There's little room for error here.
Yep.
There's very minimal room for error.
I think
You're
saying
saying
Cog said
that we could get it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not what I'm saying. But listen, and just to kind of prove your point a little more, I think Corner of the Galaxy, I think it was Baxter actually who said this, but the Galaxy need an average of 1.5 points per game throughout the rest of the season to average out what in the last few years had been 9th place.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so like that means every single game going forward we need to make some kind of points, whether it's a draw or a victory. I don't see it. Like so again, I talked about this in our pre-show when we're in the coming soon screen. That I hate not being able to feel optimistic because I'm the one that feels optimistic even when shit is looking great. Right? Like, right now, I don't feel that way.
So now, question: when it comes to that, so you're without putting words in your mouth, you're saying that they potentially cannot make that 9th place spot. Correct? Okay, but so what happens at the end of that? CK and Vanny ultimately have to go. Now, my thing with that is, why have those conversations at the end of the season, and why start looking at my assumption? If you're waiting that long, then AEG needs to start talking to coaches now.
But see
now,
yep,
and imagine what that does to the inside personnel while that's happening. There's no secret. So
real
why
quick,
keep that around?
Let me butt in here.
Yeah, butt in, baby. This is your pod.
Fucking Vanny's contract's over at the end of the season, right?
No, he has one more. That's the 5th season, no?
No. He has
I think
3
it's the
years.
option, right? Yeah.
He has 3 years, and he has a club option. Wouldn't AEG already be looking?
Yeah, like I don't think that's the argument. Like, or at least that's the way I see it. Is the fact that like I don't think there's a way you bring an interim coach, or you place another full-time coach that makes this team any better and that salvages anything this season, right?
But we're under collective that there is no salvaging.
But see, like again, like that's the feeling, but it's not like it's a guarantee. It's not a like there's mathematically.
There's always
mathematics. So what you guys are arguing is making it playoffs.
Correct? No. We're not even arguing that. The question is about this potential change of coach, right? Then the argument became like CK.
Right, but what is the argument? What did you guys get to right now? Talking about where we make it the playoffs, right?
No, that's the feeling like that. We don't think we are. Like it doesn't feel that way. Like I mean, I think there's a mathematical There's definitely a
There's a mathematical problem that
chance,
we can make it
chance that we
playoffs.
can make
The
it,
end of the
right?
chat says we can easily make it. Realistically, I
Yeah.
was looking at it earlier. Yes, we're 3 games
Yeah.
out from being in fucking ninth
But
place,
that's
8th place.
but that's not the feeling we get when we see the teams play.
Absolutely
Right?
not. Right.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like the feeling is not there. Question is, do we make a change because of that? That's what we're supposed to be talking about. But we went in tangent in many other ways.
So my thing is, you
Where do we
pull
go
off the
from here?
band-aid. You pull off the band-aid and you start on the search. And don't bring in a full-time coach because that's unfair, because that's not going to be your ultimate. That's not it. You bring an intern coach and let the season ride out. If ultimately at the end we're gonna get the same result, listen, we're gonna end up with the same result. Why not get the interim and start the talks now about finding someone and having these conversations about this?
I have one argument for you right now, where I think it right now would be an okay time to start looking for a search. If you're thinking about going to the Mexican League, right now would be a good time because they're playoffs, right? So you can start potentially thinking about who you can bring from that league out there. We talked about several coaches from out there before.
But then you're still going to be under Chris Klein's. You're still going to be under Chris Klein's umbrella unless.
But you guys were talking about if Chris Klein leaves, right?
No. I'm talking Vanny. I'm talking Vanny. Vanny's the talk right now because Vanny's the one that's having that conversation. It's both CK and Vanny. I'm saying you pull off the band-aid now and take out the coach. Take out the coach. I wish it was both of them. We'll see if AEG could do both of them at the same time. But what I'm saying is, you have these conversations now with potential people that you want to bring in and show them what they have to work with. Because like you said, we're not going to flip a roster of 10 players. That's not doable. That's not what we're going to do. They need to see what
summer window. We don't
exactly.
have one.
And let's throw that out. Let's start thinking about next season and let's have a coach look at the pieces that he has to work with and things that non-negotiables that we can't move. See the contracts that are coming up at the end of the season. Cheech's DP contract. There's a lot of things that need to be moved that I think is unfair for us to have these conversations with coaches past the season.
But see, like here's the thing. I don't think you need to get rid of Vanny to have these conversations. These conversations are not going to happen in public either way, right? Like they're not going to be something that we know who they're talking about either way, regardless of whether it happens right now or at the end of the season. Like those conversations, especially the way the Galaxy works, they give you nothing until they have to. Like you're not going to hear this conversation. So I think you can have these conversations. I think you have this conversation and you have time to kind of really ask the questions from whoever you're looking at, to see what their intentions are with the current squad and what they need to update it without making it without having to commit to any coach right now, right? Especially because you have Vanny, and for what it's worth, like this is who the players Vanny wanted, right? Or for the most part, how I don't think 100%, but maybe like 80% of that team is Vanny's team, no?
And that was and that was a huge argument because you're like, oh well, back-to-back conference finals is a good thing, 100%. But I mean, if it's a bigger catastrophe, the fact that it's not playing in Vanny's way, because out of all the coaches, you said out of all the coaches post Bruce, well, out of all the coaches, he's had the most movement. He's had the most flexibility as a coach.
He's had more freedom.
Yeah,
to do anything you want.
And here, you bring in.
Let's not forget really quick let's not forget that Scalota was pigeonholed into being forced to play, slot and all that stuff. It happened, and it technically started with, was it Shiggy, right? If I recall correctly.
No. Because I think GBS is building the squad around oh my God, what's his name?
Ola Kamara.
Ola, yeah, and then we got Zlatan, and we ended up like having to play Zlatan ball, right? Like, so I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, like, listen. You bring in two wingers, two quality wingers. They don't have to be the P, but two quality wingers. And you think this is a bad build roster?
Yes.
Yeah. I think
it's poorly. And this is why I'm Vanny out. This is why I'm Vanny out, right? And I talked. What was my thing that I beefed on at the beginning of the season before we talked about this? Last year, at the end of the year, he said that one of his goals was to start the year with his full roster, with full squad. I get the Julian thing. Fuck it. That's the only one that I can be like, okay, I can see where this issue is. Julian happened late. We're gonna have to figure out what we do with this right back spot. Sure, let's fast forward a few weeks later.
We get into like him not
right.
Not be able
but the
to
point
make
is that, like, I've been telling you guys for the longest, this is a poorly built roster. This is not a championship pedigree roster. There was nothing about his moves. He had so much opportunity to bring players in post World Cup where you can brainwash people to come in. Hey, come retire, or come spend the last 3 years here, 4 years here, where you still have good legs under you. None of that was done. We have no players. We have our depth is ass.
You're wrong. Fuck our
How?
depth. Fuck our depth.
Our
Fuck our
depth
depth.
is important.
Fuck our depth. Fuck our depth.
This
right
is
now.
his
Fuck-
third year. What do you
fuck
mean?
our depth.
What the fuck you
What you
mean?
mean?
This is our third year.
Yeah,
This is
and
our
look at
third
that.
year.
No,
We have no depth. This is not
no.
it's not a championship
Fuck our
caliber
depth.
team. This is not a
Fuck our
championship
depth.
caliber team.
Fuck
He had
our
a
depth.
whole
Fuck our
transfer window.
Yeah, how many players have come in and come out, Angel? Come on, like you fail to realize that. Like there's been a lot of there's a mass exodus happened since Vanny's been here, right? So
And
again,
but influx of the players that came in have been ass, and that's my point. Like that's
okay.
That's
Again,
poor acquisition of talent, and that's my
It's
beef.
not though. Listen here.
I don't
Let me
think
tell
any
you.
of the players that came in this season been ass.
They are ass. What are they
They're
doing
not.
right now? Look at this. Look at
Who's
our
ass?
team.
Ooh.
Look
Who's
at where we're
ass?
at.
Who's
Who?
ass? Who's ass? Who's ass who came in this season? And I'm not talking about Memo.
Yeah,
And I'm not talking about Memo.
I'm
That's
backing
not
up
who
a
I'm
lot.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm backing up a lot, but I don't agree with the fact that
But
Who's the
players
game
that he
changer
brought
right now?
in.
Who's the game changer?
Julian Allen?
Peep game, right? Klinsmann and Bond at the back. Either one, I'm cool with being my number one right now.
I'm
Right.
okay with that.
Caligari, Neo, Cáceres, and Aude as my starting four. Depending
I'm
on
okay with that.
whether 3 or 4, depending on what they're playing, I'm good with
We're
that.
leaking goals. Okay.
We'll talk about that. But again, like, I'm
We're
cool.
leaking goals. We'll
We'll talk about that.
Sounds
We'll
like
talk
last
about
year.
that. But it's not
Sounds like
defensive.
last
It's not
year. We're leaking
defensive. It's
goals.
not defensive. But it's not defensively
We're
though.
leaking goals, Rudy.
It's not
We're leaking
defensively.
goals.
But it's not defensively. So you
leaking
can't blame it on defense because it's not defensively.
We're leaking goals.
But it's not defensively. I
We're
agree with
leaking
you. I agree with you, but it's not defensively. Right? So the 4 in the back are better than what we had before by leaps and bounds.
I agree.
Right? Our midfield of Delgado, Brugman, and Puig, probably the
Been
best
uninspiring.
midfield. Probably the best midfield in MLS.
Uninspiring.
Cool. Probably the best
For
midfield
what?
in MLS. Probably the best midfield in MLS, right? Cheech.
Okay, but
and,
then after they die out, you have no one to come
Cheech
in
and
and be
Joveljic,
impactful.
Cheech and Joveljic, two good strikers, right? Now nobody in the fucking wing, right? Because Boyd is good. I'll take Boyd. Actually, you know what? I'll take Boyd. Boyd is serviceable, especially as you've seen him progress of the season. I think Boyd is serviceable. But we have nobody else, right, in the wing. So
Well, what favors are you doing yourself if you're Vanny if you can't bring in another winger? What favors are you doing yourself?
So forget. So
That's
forget
my
that,
beef.
right?
Like he doesn't have the depth, and depth is important.
Again, listen. But
He has no
what I
game
was,
changers.
but we're arguing the wrong things here. Like, or we're having different conversations. Here,
Are we?
right? Yeah, because I said
I
this.
I wasn't happy with the acquisitions. There's no game changers. We're
Again,
still leaking goals. You brought defense to have better defense. Sure, I get that defensively we're better sound, but we're still leaking goals.
But we're not having the same conversation is what I'm trying to get at, right? Because what I said was like this roster you said is a bad build roster, and my argument is not because the players there. I think George, you said it's a bad managed roster, and that I can agree with because there's no way we look as bad as we do on field with the players that we have right now. Now there is again. I'm not saying this is a good team right now, but I'm saying like acquisition of players, especially this season, the players brought in are good. Did we get everybody we needed to? Fuck no. Not even
Absolutely
close
not.
because we needed the fucking wingers, right? So I
And
agree
who
with
does
that.
You know what
fall
your
on,
starting
though?
11 is
On
going to
Vanny,
be with the
on
exception of
Vanny.
one winger.
Yeah.
Now you have no game changers. You're bringing any players in to make a difference in this game.
But I understand that though. But I
But that's
understand that. I'm okay
important.
with that. I'm okay with that because but it's not this is not the fulfilled this is not his whole plan fulfilled. Not that will you get a chance to have it fulfilled? I don't know about that, but this is not his whole plan fulfilled. I'm saying there has been a lot of exodus, and we look back at
This
what
is
our
the same
starting 11
mentality that we've had over year after year after year. We said the same thing about
with
Jonah.
the difference that we don't have Siani, we don't have Shelvick, we don't have Rolf, we don't have all these players who came. We don't have Vasquez, we don't have Sasha, we don't have all these players.
You were on Vasquez nuts 2 years ago, and you were
Yes, I
hoping for him
was.
to come back last year.
Yes, I was.
And he
Yes,
came
I
back
was.
last
And
year.
now
It
I'm
was
not.
ass.
And it was bad.
You
And I
wanted
said,
Sasha
okay,
back
enough,
for the
enough.
same thing, and you argued Sasha. Oh well, he's so cheap.
Yep.
He was fucking
Yep.
useless.
Okay,
So,
and
okay,
so I'm
it's
okay
no
with him
different
being
than
gone.
Cheeky Noogie. And they said that Cheeky Noogie is costing us fucking
$700K.
$100 gajillion.
$700K. But again,
Too many Cheeky Noogies.
So you're right, but you're wrong when you're saying this roster was like the starting 11 is not built right. Is it a complete? No. Let's
Starting 11 is built fine, minus one player who's not there. We don't have the other player to play on the wing.
because we bet on because
Right.
they continue
But
to bet on
then,
Costa
but that's
versus
my
W's.
beef. We don't have impact players. We don't have game changers. We need that right now. If Costa's gone, we're
We have an
pigeonholed.
impact player. We have the most impact player possible, but we haven't figured out how to score goals with Ricky Puig. We've talked about how much we needed a cam for years, and we have that person.
He's
Now
not even a real cam though, man. But whatever.
But he plays.
he's more than a real cam for us. He's more than a real cam for us. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about because he's a creative guy in our midfield.
Honestly, I don't think we need a cam.
Of course not.
No, we
Ricky.
don't. No, we're not having this conversation. We don't need a cam.
We have Ricky. Like we don't need a cam. We have Ricky. Like that's not where I was going. What I'm saying is, like, listen.
We've been lackluster in our creativity.
100%.
Listen,
that's because of Vanny, though.
Let's go into that, right? Because that's what I want to move into. Is because of Vanny.
Vanny's an idiot.
Say it louder.
Listen here.
No, it's true.
Look, we're never gonna agree, right? And that's reality.
We can have a conversation. We can have a conversation without having to fucking without doing that. That's what I said.
We need impact. We don't have that.
No, we don't. We don't need nobody else to impact. But we have Chicha and Pooch. We just gotta get them in position.
They're ineffective right now. We need to just change something. Change something in the game.
Yes.
We don't have anything.
No. Peep game. Peep game. Let me give Masa a big. Let me take back everything I said about Masa being a big ass dumbass. Even though I never said that. No, but I'm gonna walk back my argument I had with Masa over the 3-5-2. Or any other variation of that 3-5-2.
Variation with two strikers up top, fool.
Any variation of that. But I gotta give it up to you. Because you said teams will sit back and then they hit us in the counterattack, and which has been true, but I think it's because and that's what my beef is with Vanny. I think the idea is good, and if the players committed to it, they could make it happen. But the players haven't. The players haven't committed to it, or don't understand what he's trying to do. But yet he sticks to it, and I think that's where I have to fall into, like, it's Vanny's problem now. Right, because I understand what he's trying to do, and that's cool. But if your players don't understand what the fuck you're trying to do, you gotta figure something out. Or they don't want to do it anymore for him. Or they want to do it, yeah, whatever it is. Like if you're losing that locker room because the tactics you're trying to deploy are not working for the players, and the players are reacting to it by their performance on the field, you had to react that. Listen,
but then we don't need those pussy ass players either. Then
no, yeah, you do, because
you don't. Because sure, you don't want to respond to your fucking player. I get you respond for
the manager.
It's very different.
The manager is deploying the players in a way where he knows they're not gonna succeed, and you keep doing it because you want to prove a point that, like, their tactics should work, in theory, but it's not happening it's not happening on product. You have to change. Listen, you have to figure something out on how you coach your team, how you manage your tactics, where your players are receptive to it and they buy into it and they show you on the field. My problem is the fact that, like, there has to be a big disconnect, or Vanny's just not seeing it in practice that it's not working, because when it counts, when the matches are for fucking points, like the last 9 of them have been, it's not showing. So it's on Vanny for doing it. Again, I personally like these tactics, right? I like what he's trying to do, but fuck what I like. If the players are not receptive to it, if the players are not taking it and making something of it, then you have to change. And if that's like one striker,
we don't know though. We don't know that though. Because of from what shit they've been saying online and on other pods is that the players have been pushing for a 2-striker formation.
Okay,
so.
Yeah.
And then this but this fool Vanny likes that 1-striker formation, right? And I don't know if you guys heard his press conference or whatever. He talks about maybe it's time to just go back to what they were doing, to that 1-striker formation. And it's like, bro, like, I fucking saw that the first time we played in that formation. Like, it's not hard to see what the problem is. Dejan and Cheech take each other out of the game when they play together.
But that's not the only truth you see, though.
They're not compatible strikers.
But that's not the only truth. Masa, but here's the thing, though. Like, me and you can say that because we see it every weekend. Vanny's seeing it every day at the practice ground, and he's seeing something. Or I'm gonna walk that back. I assume that he's seeing something there, and that's why he's trying this, right? Like, that's what my assumption has always been. I don't know really though anymore, because again, like what we saw this Saturday, and let's move into this game. But what we saw versus Colorado. Holy fuck.
Wait, so do you think Chris Klein is out then? You think he's out the window? Because right now we're just talking about Greg Vanny. We didn't say shit about Chris Klein.
So I'll tell you the way I see it playing out is I don't think there's going to be any movement until the end of the season. I think.
Do you agree with it?
Do I agree with it? Yeah. Yeah, I agree with it because
with the tangent that there's talks happening with other coaches right now.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
So. Yeah, because my hope is, listen. I said this over and over again. Like, if Vanny and CK figure a way to get us to a Western Conference semifinal again this season, and that makes it back-to-back seasons of us making it to that level, that is progress for me, right? Because we've seen since Bruce how inconsistently we've been inside the playoffs, like just making it. And if you're telling me that we're gonna get past the first round and compete to be the top 8 teams, top 8 in the league, that is progress based on where we're at, right? Obviously, that right now seems like it's fucking miles away based on what they showed us so far. So I don't think it gets there. But if it does get there, like then if it gets there, if we get there, some miraculous we get there, the club's in a better shape than I think we would give it credit for, because now the club's not only financially stable, which is why Curtis Klein is still in fucking his seat, and the team is performing better on field, right? Because if we're saying we're top 8 every single year, we're gonna break that top 8 into the top 4, and then hopefully into the top 2 based on trajectory of sticking to a plan. I don't see that happening the way we're playing right now, and that's where I'm at. That's my feelings of it right now. But if it were to happen, I'm not mad at it. If it doesn't happen and we tank like we are right now, then I think it's a good time, because like not only are you having whatever contracts are fading out that year, those are gone, and then you also get rid of your coaching, get rid of your management. We already have somebody like William Kuntz in here, who
what has he done?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but I'm sure he's at the chomps of wanting a big opportunity, right? And it's somebody who's going to get that shot, or maybe or not, maybe or not, but like it's somebody that we already have inside who's hungry for that, because that's why he's coming here, right? Because he wasn't going to be that at that level, so he came here for that. There is things in place. I don't think it's like I think if we make it to the end of the season with the current staff and our current coaching staff and their current FO, and we don't hit the bar that they've set, I think the changes are good, and it's in a good time to do it because of the way the infrastructure has been set right now, right? For what it's worth, whether you're Vanny in or Vanny out, like he made the club invest in areas where we were super lacking, right? The video rooms, the scouting department, and everything else he's done. So like
you mean Michael Stevens?
It's better than.
It doesn't matter, dog. The signings he's brought since he's been in charge have been solid, bro. Anything prior to Michael Stevens, like all the French fucks, trash.
Nah, I don't think they're trash either.
I don't know, bro. We look like a better team with the Frenchies.
100%, but they didn't want to be here.
I think what at the end of the day, what's at play here is there is a metric they have to meet, which is the Western Conference semifinal, right? That is what they said. Right now, it's looking like it's dire, like it's not going to happen. But again, it's only 10 games in, and we just talked about how last year the last 10 games kind of really made the season. There is chance. It's not the feeling that I have with this team right now, but we'll see where we're at. It's fucked up to be where we're at. I also don't think it's fucked up to be where I do see a way out of it one way or the other, right? Whether it's with CK and Vanny figuring some shit out and getting us to a Western Conference semifinal again, or is both of them kind of stepping aside and us finally bringing in a new reign to the club. So we've waited this fucking long. The end of the season is going to be telling of what direction we're going with either way, right? Like, so yeah, just breathe a little bit. Can we talk about Colorado? Because it says it's going to be a short pod, and we're already 30 minutes in.
We could get to Colorado really quick.
Let's go with the lineups. Klinsmann and goal. Caligari outright. Koulibaly and Cáceres. Center back pairing. Aude out left. Trio in the midfield of Brugman, Rosell, and Delgado, with Puig being with Puig being like being in the middle with the freedom to move as he needed to, and Chicharito and Jovan
diamond, dog. That's a diamond. That's a compact diamond. CDM, RCM, yes. LCM, and Ricky Puig Camp.
100%.
That's a diamond.
Yep.
With no width.
Yes. But it's not a diamond.
Yes,
it's a diamond.
It's a flat line of 3 CMs.
Fuck. No,
it's a flat line of 3 CMs in compact though. In compact, but it's not a diamond though.
I know what I saw though.
It's not a diamond. It's not a diamond. It's a line of 3. It's a line of 3 CMs. It's a line of C3Ms, and Brugman does not respect the line, so it becomes just 2 CMs. With Brugman and Puig have the freedom to move. Fortunately, don't create any width, but they have the freedom to move. Listen, I don't think it's not a diamond, but it was definitely not effective.
I know that, and I would have told you that from the jump.
So
why would that shit work? against a team that plays white.
Okay, so let's go, right? Let's go. Klinsmann, yeah. Caligari, Aude, Cáceres, yeah. Koulibaly.
That's an easy call for me.
Like him in?
Open cup.
No.
Wait,
no.
hold on. Okay,
no,
hold on. Let me ask you why. Masa, you're gonna rest the youngest motherfucker on the squad over Cáceres for Open Cup. Think about that for a second. Listen to yourself. You're gonna rest the youngest cat on the squad, the youngest cat on the squad.
Probably healthiest too.
That could recover in a day or two, young.
He could probably play another game right after.
I don't know, bro. I mean, that's the only reason I would.
I don't know. It's a big Open Cup. Come on, man.
And then how many more games do we have?
It doesn't matter. The man can't run.
I know, man. I don't.
Then you're just adding to the point of why you shouldn't have benched the young guy and left the old guy on the field. If that's the reasoning.
And he came out and said in his post conference that he was looking for some physicality. Why? Listen, I think it was two of us in the pod in the beginning of the season. We questioned if Neil could do it with physicality.
Yes.
9 games in, what he's playing, like it's not been an issue, right?
He's been smart enough to know how to deal with physical players.
He knows how to position himself, so he doesn't need to fucking out physical somebody.
And that was my concern going into the season.
And you need a banger? Yeah, Cáceres. He likes to bang. He likes to get into the contact. So you have a good pairing already. Somebody who's really talented and has really good vision to position himself correctly, and somebody who's willing to put in some work, who's willing to get a yellow card, who's willing to put in a tackle. That's the kind of pairing I like in my center backs.
Yeah, I like the type of pairing too.
So why do we have a tronco and then somebody who likes to put in a tackle? Like, fuck, all right. So like he comes in. Rosell, fucking Brugman, and Delgado. Doesn't make sense to me either. Because the one thing I've been constantly here saying and fighting and dying on the sword is saying that we have the best midfield in the MLS when it's Puig, Brugman, and Delgado.
Yes, supposedly, right?
Yeah, like that. I've been dying on that sword. Like, I will. Cheech and Jobe, like I don't mind.
I do.
Yeah, because you don't like it. It makes sense. I see why you don't like it. When we play like this, Chicharito is forced not to be the target guy, right? He's the one dropping in to create that secondary path for the pass. So I understand why, but like, this is how we come out, and it's against fucking Colorado, guys. It's fucking Colorado.
Colorado's unbeaten in 8, dog.
Yeah, I don't know why people keep giving Colorado shit, man. So
because
Vancouver's not a bad team. Colorado's not a bad team.
Because you saw them in the field. They're not. Listen, they've gotten results. They got results, but did they do anything?
Good teams find ways to get results. It doesn't have to be pretty.
I get you, but they didn't. Like, again, that this team is supposed to be better than that.
Oh my god! Is it because that paper bullshit? We've been the best team on paper for like 10 years, except for 2017. This
team should be better than that. And at points they've shown
better than the 3-0,
yeah, a 3-1,
but not better than fucking Colorado.
Colorado at home, it should be.
The table shows exactly where we should be.
No, yeah, like the table's telling us the truth. Like definitely, the table's telling the truth. But they should be better.
And Colorado's a better team.
Listen, you really tell me you see them on field and you don't think they should be better? Just the players on the field, you don't think they should be better?
That's like saying on paper.
Yeah. That's what I'm asking for. Like you watch the game, and you don't, and then 90th minute it's 1-3. You don't look at it and say, "Damn, this team it should be better." Just what I saw on the field.
Colorado's a better team.
I don't believe that.
Colorado's a better team.
I don't believe that at all.
Galaxy probably has better individual players, but they're not a fucking team, dog. So Colorado is a better team.
I don't see it. But again, Angel just said it, right? Like teams that can figure out how to get a dub are teams obviously even better possession, in which they are unbeaten on 7 now. So yeah, they're figuring out some way out. Like again, it doesn't feel, when I look at the game, it doesn't feel like they should be, right? Because they don't do anything special to say like they're that better team. They are, because they beat us 3-1 at home. They are because they're sitting a lot better than we are in the table right now. So they are. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, you don't. I get the sense when I see this game, when I saw this game, that we're better than what we showed, but for some reason can't fucking figure it out. I don't want to go too deep into it, but like that. Actually, just talk about it. Like, so you make a change for Koulibaly to include Koulibaly as your center back, and then what happens?
You got hurt.
Remarks in the post conference was that he doesn't think initially it's going to be something short.
He's
seems like are you praying or not? Like the reality of it is that we're down to 3 center backs currently, right? With fucking Zavaleta, Neo, and Cáceres. So now we're in a situation where like not only do we not have depth, but we also we're short there. Neo comes in, and Neo again, like when you see Neo come in the game, it makes you scratch your head because like you see, like he's a better defender. He's a better center back.
He's the best center back we have on the team.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. It's so crazy to me, like when you see that, especially knowing the situation we're in, where we desperately need some points to get back in the league, to get some kind of rhythm going. If you're talking about like Open Cup, and you want to make Open Cup priority, like we're going into Open Cup in a really bad form right now with no kind of rhythm. A lot of this doesn't make sense, man.
Vanny.
Yeah, I agree. Talk to me about about how Galaxy just fell apart, boys. In your perspectives, how you saw it, like
mentally weak.
I
remember I talked about this before. That we're mentally
you think
weak.
So? You think this game?
It takes
that?
one goal,
How so?
and it's here, right? They take it.
What do you think it is, though?
Okay,
like what is the reaction?
On.
Because I see.
Here we go again. Here we go again. It's not. No one in the ball says, "Fuck it." So we get scored. Let's go fuck these fools up. Let's go light their ass on fire. Give me the fucking ball. I want to go do something. You don't. It's the same shit. It's flat. It's dead. Like they get scored and like it's just they look dead to me. They're just dead. I don't know how to explain it to you. There's no life.
I see it different though, man. Because I see every time they get scored on. I do think it's mentally it's a mental issue here, but I feel it's the opposite. Where like, listen, Pooch is best when we're touching the ball and creating spaces off the ball. Give him the ball, make a run to space, pull a defender, so now he has space to kind of ping the ball where he wants to, right? Like that's his best. His best trait is getting the ball and getting space to kind of ping a pass. But that takes patience, right? It takes rotation of the ball, finding the space, and then the movement. And as soon as we get scored on, I feel like we now are like one dimensional. Like it's looking for that ball that's going to break the line and get into an attacking situation, without having that chance to create something that where we look better at when we're controlling the ball and touching the ball around. And I feel like that's the case, especially after we get scored on.
I don't know.
You don't see it that way at all?
I don't see it that way. No. Because I don't. I just feel like it's still the same thing. The way the game starts, I feel like the same way we play all the way through. There's no urgency. There's no level of change and urgency, right? You're losing the game. At least let's say for 1-0 and it's close, I got to see something change in like the last 10 minutes. Kick it up a notch. At that point, fuck your tactics. I just need the ball up there. I got to find a way to tie this fucking game. There's none of that. There's no find a way to get back in this game. Is, hey, I'm going to keep doing the same shit that has not been working for the last 8 games, and it's going to somehow it's going to work this time. That hasn't been the case. There has been no, to me, there's no urgency of saying, hey, this is not working. We got scored again. We need to find a solution. Something else, something different. If the coach is not going to do it, you as a fucking player, figure it out.
I think you're going rogue, and that's what you have issues on field as well and shit, right? But like,
I see it though. It's not working. Your coach is not working out. You want to win? Figure it out.
You don't go rogue though, right? Because you need 11 players to be on the same page.
At some point, you need to be smart enough to understand when your coach is not doing this shit right.
Smart.
And if you want to keep a fucking loser like we are, then keep doing what your coach is telling you.
I don't. Yeah.
Or you stop playing the way that you want to play. I mean, it's happening right now. It happened to GPS. So the players didn't react to what they wanted, and they stopped playing. You don't have to go rogue. You can stop playing.
But again, like both those situations are like are.
And yours is working.
No. What's my?
Listen to your coach. Stick to your plan.
Is that what I was
gonna work?
Is that what I was gonna say?
Probably.
No. What I was gonna say. What I was gonna say is both of those responses are irresponsible because these are paid professionals, right? Now
and they're professionals.
Listen, but then we're going into another argument because that's happened. That's happened from the beginning of soccer when players stop playing for the coach.
Yeah, and it's still it
Professional
doesn't
or
change the
not.
fact that it is unprofessional, right? But here's the problem: like, is the addressing of that, right? Because it hasn't been done. Like, there is something wrong here because, like you guys just mentioned, like they stopped playing for GBS, and now it's looking like they might stop playing for fucking Vanny, right? Because the response was definitely not there in the second half or in the first half to begin with in Colorado. Like, it's
Or in the
something
press
definitely
conference,
wrong.
usually the people that fucking are the biggest advocates for the team is like, shit, we don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it threw people under the bus. It felt like talking about Cheech, right? In the post conference.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bring somebody
Yeah,
else.
that's
Like,
what it felt like.
Again, like, man. So to your point, Angel, I think this game against Colorado, after we get a goal scored on because of the formation we came out, because of the personnel we came out, I did feel that a little bit more. Where like there wasn't that.
That's
there
the
wasn't
thing, though.
even
We didn't get scored on because of formation. We got scored on because of fucking set piece, dog.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
trash.
I'm
Because the
sorry.
first 10 minutes, I think the Galaxy looked fine.
But they've been looking fine every single game. Well, maybe the first game or the second game.
I didn't
Until
even
they
think
get
to look
scored
fine
on.
this game. I didn't even think to look fine this game because I did feel like the addition of Russell and not having any width, but it made it super easy for fucking for Colorado, especially because there wasn't the intricate passing that we've seen over the last weeks when we break lines between Brugman and Puch. There wasn't the space available because Colorado didn't need to give you space when everything's down the middle, right? Like everything's that tight in the middle. So it wasn't a reaction, man. 1-0 goal on the corner. That's how we go into the first half. Second half, you see Boyd come in. Boyd comes in. Boyd comes in for Russell, and that makes a difference from the jump, right? Frankly, just because there was width, and I think it took Colorado like a good 10 minutes to kind of address that and realize like, okay, we have to be a little wider now and cover our right side because like all the balls are going through there. And credit to Boyd, I think Boyd sprayed that box in so many different ways, like putting balls out to meet the player's run, crossing the ball in the air, and then like driven crosses. I think Boyd really tried to like create some chances, but unfortunately, just
we went into a 3-5-2.
Is that what we went into?
Yeah,
Dog,
I'm
it
pretty
was so
sure.
ugly. I was so ugly. I'm not even sure what we went into. I just knew that Boyd was all right, and that's the only difference that I could really tell on the game. It was ugly, man. Like that change, the introduction of Boyd, I think helped because he gave us an option and he was more direct. I didn't think it did much to like the shape that we had, to be honest, and that's my opinion. Did you saw it different? You saw like there was a change.
Because it looked uninspiring, man. That's why it wasn't inspiring. Sure, you added different personnel, a player that likes to attack more, so that's going to change in that dynamic. But it's not changing the fact the team overall was uninspiring. It was flat, bro. It's been flat.
Yeah, but
and
listen,
look, and I see it. I know you. Go ahead. Sorry, I was. I see what you mean. I know exactly what you guys mean by Ricky, but it looks also like he's trying too hard. After that comment, I don't know if that's something that he's really put on his shoulders too much, saying, "Hey, I got to be MVP." I don't know. I don't know if that's fuck with him. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what's in his head. But point is, I feel like he's trying too much. There were some passes that I could tell you, bro, that's a terrible pass. Like you have a defender in your passing lane where you trying that passing lane you're trying to hit.
Too
You
fine
can't
of a
split
pass,
that.
yeah.
There's it's so obvious where you're going. You know, like you should know better than this. The passing lane's not there.
But again, it goes back to the thing I'm telling you. Like Ricky's best when you're giving him the ball and then moving, right? Like 1-2s, and even if he doesn't go back to you, when you give him the ball and you run, you pull a defender and you give him the space for him to look up. And there was not that at all. What I felt like there was not that at all this game, right? Like in fact, I saw Cheech dropping in and receiving the ball where I would have liked Ricky to receive the ball a lot of times. And that's fucked because when he receives the balls there, regardless of the touch, whether it's good or bad, like that second option that option you're looking for after that pass is not Cheech. And it's Joveljic, right? And as much as I like Joveljic, I'd rather have Cheech like have those opportunities that Joveljic has had, especially like the rare chances that we had this game. I would have preferred.
I know, man. Cheech has had some chances already this season. He hasn't been it either. So
yeah, but even at that, like even when he's missed, because I think there's two that stick out to me. Even the two that he's missed, like it was full intention of just getting that past the goalie. We haven't seen that from Joveljic. Like not that intention, not that aggressiveness, not that determination of it. It doesn't come out for Cheech all the time, right? And it hasn't. But I'd rather see that be the chances that we're taking and the chances that we're creating over these half falling chances that we're giving Joveljic, right? Like, and that's
see, but then I see a bit different. Cheech has had better opportunities than Dejan has.
Yeah. No, but I think when Cheech gets opportunities because he's creating that space for himself. He's allowing the space for Pooch to find him in a pass or Brugman to find a pass. Again, I still prefer like Cheech.
Point is asked.
I want Cheech to be there, and because I think Pooch didn't have the ability to pick up the ball and create those chances from him, you saw Cheech doing it a lot, and it causes that issue where like is Joveljic in front of goal instead of him. Man, there is chances, but there are like half chances in my opinion, especially in the second half. And again, big credit to Boyd because Boyd is the one that creates at least these half chances that we saw, but nothing really there. And then is that thing of like we get into a rhythm of us trying to create like these half chances in front of Colorado, and Colorado just sitting back, waiting and waiting. Our backline, our midfield kind of relax a little bit because the game's all in front of them. And what happens? Two touches, and the line shifts. And holy fuck, for that second goal, how is two players that much more in front than any one of our defenders?
Let's go into a 3-5-2 when we're fucking prone to counterattacks. Fucking dumbass Vanny, dog. Sorry to fucking. I've been saying this shit for 5 episodes.
But it's again, like, yeah, fine. Like you want to blame 3-5-2, but it's the fact that like at that point we tossed everything up front. Like we're like that point. Like again, look at where our line's sitting at, right? Or most of our line is in their half.
What was the game that we went in a 3-5-2? The last one? Was it the last one?
No.
I forgot which game. Yeah. And we went down, and then we fucking. Who did we play last week? I don't even fucking remember.
But see, like I think that's because what Vanny's banking on is creating that overload, that extra player, whether it's inside the box or in the midfield, to create those passing lanes. You expect to score more goals and understand that you are going to get caught off. But the fact that we're not scoring goals and going into that and committing those players and then getting caught up, that's the real issue, right? Because I think 3-5-2, you're right, you're prone to that, but you also have that additional player in the midfield, additional player touching box that should give you the option of scoring more goals than your opponent, but you don't. Not the Galaxy, at least not currently.
That's if you keep the right possession and you keep attacking, you keep pressing, you keep creating things. But you just said everything was half-assed. It wasn't inspiring. It was whack.
Last game for sure, like going in second half for sure. But we've seen it like not the end product, but you've seen the intention what they want to do. And again, I'm with you, Masa. I'm with you right now that I don't think the 3-5-2 is really where it's at. And I think the players feel that. The players understand. Like we've been getting caught up like that. So I agree with you. I like the idea. I like that football. I don't think the Galaxy is ready for that shit. Right? Like the players are not committed. The players don't understand it, right? So yeah, like that is the problem. I agree.
Yeah, then that's definitely, like you guys said earlier, then it's definitely a manager issue for not understanding what his players can do for him.
Yep. But let's go back and talk about this goal. And the reason I want to go back and talk to this goal, because Masa, tell me about that Cabral celebration.
That shit was the coldest celebration I've seen in my fucking life, dog.
Even colder than Adebayor's?
Yeah, colder, bro. 100%.
Well, that means more. That means more, I think.
Hace frío, loco. Hace frío.
Yeah.
That fool had the shivers, you know? And then he fucking turned around.
He threw a heart, and then he turned around, pointed his jersey.
The besitos, dog.
Are you mad at that? I can't be mad at that.
I'm not mad.
Nah, good for him.
Yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
I do the same thing, dog.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
We talked a lot of shit. So, like, you know what I mean? You score a goal against us. Yeah.
Hey, deservedly so, though.
Yeah. I'm not apologizing for it.
He's only scored 1 goal up to this point, right? 1 or 2 goals?
He has more goals than our players.
He has 2 goals.
Yeah, but we're talking about last year. No different than last year. We were 8 games in, had like a goal or 2, maybe an assist. I forget. So it's really no different. We just happen to be the team he scored on. Obviously, he's highlighted more because we're his whole team. But his production's still been ass.
It doesn't matter because he scored a goal against us, and that must have
up,
right? You know what I mean? Like I know that's why the celebration. Yeah, that was horrible from the Galaxy. And the worst part about it is that we're lucky it didn't happen at least 2 more times. Because that was exposed after that, right? They end up finding a 3rd goal, which is I've been on fucking Klinsmann, bro, and saying like, yeah, I'd rather have this guy be my number 1.
First post again?
It's not even first post. It's the way he approaches that, right? Like if you look at how he attacks that, like he's 3-4 feet away from the first pole when he's finally at the feet of the ball, right? Like you gave the whole goal up. Come out and pressure that, make that goal smaller, but like keep your angle right. Your angle was so off. Like you're way too far to the right, and that's on him. That's listen, credit for making the play and getting to that position, but like if you're gonna come out and cut that, if you're gonna come out and try to pressure the striker, you gotta create your angle. And you didn't do that at all. I mean, the goal, the finish wasn't all that. It was just the fact that you have all that space, or all that space is the target. Like all that space, and I think he really choked it on that one. I think that one he has to live with, and I also think he has to live with a little bit with the cross, even
With
though
the first one.
yeah, I have a little compassion there because like I struggle. When I played, I struggle on that. So like,
but you're not a pro.
Yeah, but that feeling of like of feeling like you measured it and then like it's gone. Oh, the worst feeling in the world. But he's a pro. You're 100% right. And you have to live with it. That's on you too. So both of these goals, I think 2 of those goals, yes, there was questionable defending both on the set piece marking and on the way that the third goal gets developed. But I expect Klinsmann to do better than that in both of them, especially because I think he can. I think he's a better keeper than what he showed in those two. Fortunately, we're down 3-0 in the 80th minute. Judd had to come in the 71st, and Vivi came in the 80th, which are probably the only 2 things that we could take from that is that Judd scored his first goal in MLS, and Vivi got some fucking minutes.
Doesn't Chiqui Nugi play too?
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
But he does though.
He's the one that puts in the cross that ends up in Preston Judd's goal.
Oh, you're right. It is. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah, it is. It is him.
Good for you, Chiqui Nugi. Good for you.
Not
He's
really.
still trash, dog.
Not really.
No, I need him with some production so we can sell him.
Never mind. I don't want to be evil. I don't want to be mean today. Yeah, but like, man, like besides that, like he has, like this kid has trouble like just getting control of pass, man. I don't know how he's a professional at this point. So I didn't want to talk about him. I did want to talk about Vivi for a little bit because I think Vivi has a lot of energy. I want to see him linger in a little longer, a little longer runouts because I want to see how much of that energy he can control. But he did seem like
I don't know, bro. For an international spot, damn. All right.
Yeah, I mean we weren't using it anywhere else right now, right? So I get it. I get it.
We should have bought that shit beginning of the season, gone somewhere else with that, but okay.
Yeah, but that was too late.
Yeah.
So you do something with it.
For Benny's ass.
Sure. But I understand what he did with Vivi. Like again, back to what the point I was trying to make. I like the energy we saw from Vivi. You guys have. I know he was only on for quite literally like 5 minutes, but any thoughts on seeing this kid out for the first time?
Nope. None.
Nope.
Benny's an idiot.
Any thoughts on Judd getting his first goal?
Nope.
I mean,
none.
Means nothing.
He's out of the game, so you should have put him away instead. No,
it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Good for him. Your first goal. Okay.
And it was well taken. Like he was
well taken.
Yeah, like there was no question. Like it was it goes outside. It goes out to the side for him, and he just
kind of make that goal.
Doesn't matter. He hadn't.
Yeah, but listen, it doesn't mean much. It was a goal. No, does it? It means zero.
It means a lot. He scored a goal. Bros, please don't tell me that doesn't mean anything. We seen what he's missed. We seen what he's taken. He has his first goal. Like this means something. I'm not saying like this is gonna change the game or anything like that, but he scored a goal. Like we can't just say like it doesn't mean anything. It does.
Nah.
Okay, congratulations, Preston Judd.
3 out of 1 means nothing.
Yeah, he scored a goal. It means something. You guys are wrong on that.
Okay, I just said congratulations. What else you want?
1-3.
Congratulations, your first goal.
Cool. I wasn't only talking to you. 1-3. We end up losing against Colorado. Angel, you phoned in your prediction, right? You had a dub. I had a dub. Masa, you had a dub, or did you have a draw?
I remember saying Cabral would score on us.
No. That's not what I asked you, son. That's not what I asked you, son.
I don't remember. I don't remember anymore.
I'm gonna give you a dub. So I'm gonna give you a dub. So you take an L with me. Georgia, I know you had an L, so you take an L. I mean, we all taking L's, right? Like we took an L.
No, I had a dub. I had a tie for them.
Yeah, but I think this season I've been trying to be a little more realistic. But my God, like I think I have to be pessimistic to be realistic at this point because I don't get it. 3-1 we lose. Nothing more to be said. It's just pathetic. This is definitely like, especially because we had Cheech and we had Pooch in there. Like, this is by far the worst performance we have this season.
And this is what we've been wanting.
In a moment where I thought like we should see
I
some
think
reaction
Orlando
to
was
it.
worse.
Do you? I think this is worse because even Orlando, there was moments where like moments of clarity that didn't result in production, but it was moments of clarity. Like this game, I didn't see any of it. Like
and there was excuses. There was excuses. That's the thing. There was excuses for Orlando. We're always gonna have an excuse. There's zero excuse here. We've had the no Cheech. We have the no Ricky. We've had there's zero excuse here. Zero excuse.
This is Vanny's call.
We ran out of excuses.
Yeah, this is all Vanny's call.
Greg Vanny ran out of excuses.
Me, I ran out of excuses. I can't back him up.
Chicharito did do because the way he snapped.
Yeah, yep. Me and Chicharito feeling the same way. We'd be like, I don't know. You know, oh no. Just
somebody else should be here. Somebody else should be taking.
Yes, for real. Somebody else want to host the show today. Yeah. It is to me is the worst performance.
All right, move on. Well, what's next?
I feel it. We have 2 matches this week. First one being tomorrow versus Seattle in the Open Cup. Let's tackle that real quick. We're gonna be knocked out of the Open Cup. We're getting knocked out of Open Cup. We're getting knocked out of Open Cup, aren't we?
First down.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. The only room for optimism that we can have, I said that we can have, the same that we will, but that we can have.
You right before
is hoping that Seattle comes out with like their B squad.
They still might beat us.
Say that? Right. Listen, that's what I'm saying. Hoping that they come out with their B squad, and Vanny actually takes this shit seriously because it's probably the best shot he has at winning anything right now if he comes out with his heavy hitters. Well, heavy hitters for this game. Like you put out your best possible squad and you just try to win because you need something good to go for you. Right now it's been a bad season, but this is its own tournament, its own thing. You need something. You need something to maybe kickstart, maybe the catalyst of what could be a better season. I don't know. But I'm Vanny. I'm not, because I'm smarter, obviously. But I go with my best possible lineup. No, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
What's your best possible lineup?
The same lineup we had for Saturday?
That's a question. What's your best possible lineup?
Right now?
Especially because you hate everybody.
Right now.
We had our best possible lineup available on Saturday.
Yeah. Right now, you play, what's his face? Mr. I can't catch a ball either. Klinsmann. The back four that we talked about earlier, you go Aude, Caligari, Neil, and Caceres.
Mm-hmm.
And then the unstoppable three.
The best,
the immovable, the best, that on paper are the best thing next to who knows what. Yep. And then in your attack, you just put your best possible players out there. Like we mentioned this in the game that actually we won. You find a way with what's his face? Yellow shoes.
Say name.
Fucking yellow shoes.
Boyd.
Boyd, yes. Boyd. Dayan and Chicha. You find a way to get your best players out there in a formation that's gonna work for all of them. We talked about this before. We beat Austin this way, where Dayan played a little bit more out wide as opposed to central, which we did the game after that. That didn't work. It worked the other way. It was a little bit better that way. Try that shit again.
Something, man.
Run that shit back.
Something. So I don't know. Maybe they play a B squad, because in the weekend they play against Houston.
KC
and Houston.
Lost.
Well, no. Coming up after the Galaxy, they play Houston. So they play the G's on Wednesday for U.S. Open Cup, and then on Saturday they play Houston, which is definitely a better team than us because they're like up in the table somewhere we're not. So there is a chance that they'll play B squad. I'm with Angel in this that I think we go for it.
That's wild.
Go for it, even though like
you have nothing. Why is that wild, Masa? Explain to me why is this wild? We have nothing going for us right now in the league. You need something positive to happen.
I'm not playing Dejan and Chichi together, bro, anymore, anytime soon.
Okay, so what are you playing? Who are you playing?
Give me a lineup without
same shit you said, but I'm playing. I don't know.
You better not fucking say Cheeky Nookie, dog.
Nah, I'll probably play that Gino Vivi kid instead. If they're playing a B team, dog, I'm throwing.
And your chances are better with fucking Dayan.
Nah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I agree. Or maybe even Edwards, right? Like
if he's
Edwards
back,
was
even
hurt.
Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards.
That's what I'm saying. If he's back. if he's back, then
If
sure,
he's
Edwards.
back, I'm throwing Edwards up there, but I'm not playing two strikers.
No, but I like what Angel's saying because we talked about this. Like they get it. Jovic is not a winger, but he plays better when he's starting out wide. You know what I mean? So like I'm not opposed to what Angel's saying. Like we know he's gonna cut in a lot because that's what he's gonna look for. But he can maintain that wide stance that we need to open up teams. I'm not.
And that doesn't mean he's playing a winger. That's not what I'm saying. It's think of it more like a left forward, right?
Yeah, it's just starting off a little wider than
Yep.
you would if you're playing up top, right?
Yes.
George, where'd you fall in this? I know Angel's talking about like putting our best players, and Masa's talking about like we can't have two strikers. Where you fall into this?
It's hard to say because you still have a game on the coming up on the weekend. It's something you have to think about, and I wish I could think the way that Vandy's thinking if he wants to rest players for the Open Cup, meaning that he's going to go all in on this, knowing that there's going to be a game on Saturday. I hope he remembers that,
Sunday.
and if he does, then the Sunday. And if he does, I'm afraid to see what he's going to bring out in this game.
And San Jose's a good team this year, so take.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless,
add that
they're always going to play us. They're always going to play us regardless. I think that's the only team that's going to remember that this is a rivalry game.
Even I think more so now that they're good. They're gonna try to make a fucking
100%. They
statement and
smoke
shit.
blood.
Yeah, we're gonna
And,
get disrespected again on Sunday.
But we'll talk about that right now. Hold on. Let's
Listen,
wrap up Seattle.
I said it from the beginning. I said it last week, 2 weeks ago. Last week, you go all in on the Open Cup. There's nothing else left. Everyone, you made a face. People made faces. It's like, oh, the season's not over. You go all in on Open Cup. It's the only thing that's going to be salvageable at this point for this season.
At least this is where you have a fresh start, right?
Do yourself a favor as a coach. Go all in on this tournament.
So I'm with you on going all in, but for different reasons. I'm saying go all in just because this team needs to feel what it's like to win a good game, like play good and win, right? Like there's no belief in this fucking team at all when it comes to what they're doing. So I hope they play the best team possible and they get a result where they feel convincing, where they feel like they know what they're doing, because they need something, bro. We can't take another L in Open Cup and then go into San Jose knowing that they're a better team than we are this year, knowing that they every single fucking year like still care about this fucking match, and knowing how bad we are. You know they're coming for fucking blood, right? Like we have to get some kind of believe in the team, man. So
and they got momentum, bro. They're the first team to beat LAFC so far this year.
They're not playing bad, bro. And
they just beat LAFC this weekend.
Some of the players are outperforming. Yeah, some of the players are also like outperforming what we expect from like these trash players. You know what I mean? Like the complete opposite of what we have, where like our best players are underperforming. They got the opposite going on. So it's a scary match. But let's talk about Seattle. We all share our thoughts on what the lineup should be and what we feel how they should go about it. Let's talk about some results. And let's think that it is a mixed Seattle team, even though Seattle definitely has more depth than we do. It's gonna be let's say it's a mixed team with some players and some depth players. What do you think we do here? Do you think there is a chance where we do come out victorious in the US Open Cup?
Absolutely not.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. You're right. You're not wrong. You guys are not wrong. Angel, tell me they're wrong, dog. Tell me they're wrong, Angel.
I think you guys are wrong.
I am never. Hell yeah, dog. Why? Wait a minute. I don't know if I should celebrate yet. Why, Angel?
My man been 0 for 2 this season, so
but I've also been more accurate than you guys so far. So,
oh, according to you, according to you, according to you,
yes,
according to you,
yes.
So
no, the only reason I say that, the only reason I say that is because this is probably the best opportunity Vanny has at restarting whatever he was trying to think right for this season. This is a restart.
But then that's you think he could be competent in managing this team.
Right. I get it. That's what you're saying. This is the right decision for me to make this call? Absolutely not. I understand what I'm saying. I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying, if there is something that if you have it clicks at some point in your head, Greg, if it clicks at some point, use this as a catalyst to get a win for the team, for everyone, just to be a little bit more hopeful. Or like, all right, you know what, fuck it. The season's a wash. At least we still have a chance in Open Cup. Because right now, sky's limit. It's a fucking tournament. Right? It's a tournament. Anything can happen. So go for it. Go for it. And let's say, hold on, sorry. Let's just say we do lose again. If we go all in, we do win, or let's say when we lose, then we're out, right? But now we go back into Sunday, more demoralized. Let's say Seattle does come out with their B squad, and we do the same, and doesn't go well. Then we're gonna be like, well, we should just put out the squad because then we're gonna lose San Jose. It's like, pa que putas, you know? For that, we should just play the main team on Wednesday and give ourselves a better chance. And now we're back to here. So the way I see it is play the game in front of you, play the game you have right now, attempt to win that, right? Play that. You don't know what's gonna happen Sunday. You know, so that's just how I see it, right? Take this game in front of you. That's the first game coming, and you deal with what happens after. You put the best possible lineup right now.
I fucking despise agreeing with you, but you're fucking right. That for me is that's the point, right? Like it's in front of you. It's the next game is the next opportunity to fucking get some goals in and get a victory, because that's what this team needs more than anything else. Dog, is get a couple wins under them, where they start believing in the fact that they can score some fucking goals. Dog, we get a clean sheet in one of these, that'd be fucking amazing. I'm not hoping. I don't really believe that, but
it doesn't even have to be a clean sheet. Just get the win, bro.
Yeah,
get the win.
You know what I mean?
Find ways to win.
You need to get again. I don't believe it. I'm telling you right now, I don't believe that this season is going to turn around and we're going to be better and we're going to be in the top 8 of the league when it's all said and done. I don't believe it. But if there is any possibility of that, we need to start winning games right now. Like right now. You know what I mean? Like, get it. Like, we need these fucking games right now, because what are you fucking holding on to at this point if you're a Galaxy player? You have nothing to hold on to. Like, we're ass right now, so you need a dub. Let's go predictions. Angel, how much are we gonna win by?
Fuck it, just because you want something really good going for you, Rudy, I'm gonna say 3-0. This is just for you. This is just for you. This is just for you.
See, a little flattery.
Goal scorers, David Bingham on goal and Daniel Steres 2 on goals. There you
go. And he's being 100% honest with that prediction. George,
oh yeah, absolutely.
2-0 L.
Myself.
We're losing 3-0.
God damn.
Rudy.
Hey, what is it? Is the penalties? Is it replay? What do we have in the?
No, they go to penalties.
Fuck, so we can't even get.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, they go to extra time and then penalties.
I don't want that. Fuck, we're gonna lose 2-1. I don't see it right now, man. I don't see it. I don't see how we beat Seattle, even with a B squad. So I think we lose 2-1, which will lead us to Seattle coming in with just a horrible record and just a horrible stretch of games. What do we see for San Jose? I mean, sorry, San Jose coming up on the weekend Sunday.
Fuck San Jose.
Fuck San Jose.
We're fucking, bro.
We're fucking?
Yeah, we're fucking.
Oh my god.
Just because fuck San Jose. Dude.
I understand. I understand Elliot.
No, that's all I'm saying.
Eli when it's chipped. I understand when it's chipped. But you're on some different kind of Kool-Aid.
Because they're good this year, man. Fuck, that shit sucks. We suck and they're good. I hate that. Fuck San Jose. We're gonna win. Yeah, because when we've been better, they beat us. So now it's gonna be the way around.
Listen, bear no injuries. Like, bear all the players being in good enough recovery from the game on Wednesday. Like, we're looking to put our best team, or quote unquote best players on the field against San Jose, right?
Yes.
Or you think we'll see major changes? I mean, the one point I agree with is, like, I can't see how we don't play the players that we need to play with the depth we have, right? Like, that part I give you. Like, I don't. This stretch of the season right now is going to be tough because we don't have the like for like player that we could bring in at any given point, almost at any position. So that's gonna be tough. So I expect us to play a lot of the players again.
The keeper, you can play the keeper. That he's fine. He can play as many games as he can. He can play back-to-back games, back-to-back games. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Your wingers, I mean, your right wing, your right. Well, depends on what formation we're gonna play, right? But your left back and your right back, these kids are young too. They'll be fine. And they probably played in more intense games than what we're playing right now, right? Jalen Neal, George has talked about it.
Yeah.
He's a fucking kid. He'll be fine. Casas is probably your only question mark. Worst case scenario, you gamble it with Zavaleta. Fuck it. But I'll take 3-1 new one if I need to. That's a gamble I'm willing to take. If that means I'm putting my best possible lineup tomorrow.
You feel the same way about Brugman and Delgado?
I feel like they can start the game. But
And
with
then,
both
like,
of those, I also feel that we do have depth in those pieces where Aguirre is serviceable and he's young. You couldn't even potentially start him,
and we have Cuevas too, right?
right?
We haven't seen yet. So you're right.
Well, we haven't
actually.
seen him. I don't even know what position he plays really. And then we talked about what's his name? Memo, right? Memo is better in center as a center midfielder. He's not by no means is he Brugman, is he Ricky, is he Delgado. I get
But
that, but he's
75
serviceable. He's
65th,
serviceable in
75th
that
minute.
role. Yes, in that role, he is serviceable. I will give him that for sure. So there, you're fine. And then Preston Judd, listen, I get it. He's missed a lot of goals. I haven't been happy with it.
He scored
He
one.
finally scored. Rudy, yes, you're saying he scored. But one thing he has given us, he does give us energy when he comes off the bench.
Yeah.
So you can make that sub if you need to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Now the question is going to be how long can Boyd go? Right. Dayan could probably keep playing, bro. He has minutes on his legs. He doesn't play all his games. He'll be fine if you can put him out there.
I agree.
If you want to put Cheech, you can add Preston Judd. You can put Preston Judd, keep Dayan in there. Now my question is going to be definitely Tyler Boyd, because look, Tyler Boyd, I know he's not as effective a lot because we're not getting the looks, but he's a hustler. He works. His work rate is high.
He was also questionable for the last match, right? So like that's why he didn't start.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So him is probably the one player that I would probably think about maybe be a quick sub, right? In 45 minutes in. So hopefully you do something in this first 45, because then that's when the issues start.
Yep.
You have no depth in the wing. If that's the case, your formation is gonna have to change. You might have to play a flat 4 in the middle because that diamond didn't work for you. Maybe a flat 4 in the middle with 2 forwards. A good old 4-4-2.
Just play a line of 8 with 2 forwards.
Right?
That's it. At that
point,
so
that's right. But that's me, right? That's me thinking.
No, I think it's very valid. I'm sold. I buy into it. I see it. George Massa, you guys have anything disputing what Angel's thoughts there?
Yeah, fuck 2 forward formation, dog. God damn, bro. Fuck, man.
All right, so but you don't.
But technically, it's 3 forwards. It's like a 4-3-3 when you think about it. Then.
But in the big
the
thing
way
is,
that
like,
people you play for longest not so long ago.
I get you saying fuck the 2 forwards, but you're also not giving us any other insight what we could do without the 2 forwards, right? You're just saying
shit.
You want sticky
we have a trash ass team, dog.
All right. So
but I said that earlier, and it was an
win.
issue. Oh, this motherfucker.
Nah, but listen, like that's it though. Like that's the world we're living in with the Galaxy right now, right? Where it's this fucking.
Okay, so then the season's a wash, bro.
No, it's not, because there's only 10 games in, regardless of what you say. Like I have a feeling it will be a wash, but I'm not calling it a wash because it's only 10 games in. I'm sorry, you can't call it a wash 10 games in. Like you can't fucking claim you're the best team 10 games in, like both ways. I don't think it works that way. Again, I'm with you though. Where the feeling to me is that we're not gonna make it, but I'm also not like it's just a polarizing thought or a polarizing thing to say that it's washed when it's not. By no means is it washed. So we go into San Jose, or San Jose comes. We're looking like maybe we're gonna have some starting players, potentially looking into making early subs with other players to get the rotation going in. What are we thinking? Like, because again, Angel, you said it perfectly. They're playing better. We're playing worse. It's typically been the worst team who is able to sneak out with a victory or a result. Does the Galaxy have any kind of luck like that? What do we think, boys?
Absolutely not. It's going to be something that needs to fall on Vandy, because when you play these type of games, you need to be able to manage your players and manage the depth that you have. From what we've seen, he can't manage it. We have no depth, so he's between a rock and a hard place. The rock being his management, and the hard place is with the depth.
Yeah, no, 100%. I get that part. Like I think we could get most games out, but when they come fast and rapid like that, when the players are not playing well, we're in for I think we're in for a little bit of a rougher patch than we're already in. Masa, Angel, talk to me. What are you guys thinking?
The rivalry game. Don't get fucking bullied, bro. That's one thing I say done for us.
It's
done
a
to us a
rivalry game
lot.
for one team.
Christian Espinosa.
But you know what?
hat-trick
I give the
incoming,
G's
dog.
credit, because last year they stepped up to the plate.
Cheech got clowned on it, and he took it personal.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
but everyone else backed him up on it. So
yeah.
Against a bad San Jose team.
But we were on a 10.
I get it. I get it. Listen,
game unbeaten.
you're asking me what do we need? I'm just letting you know that's what we need. We need to do what we did last year. Is it gonna happen? I don't think so. But is that what we need? That's what we do. We got to come out with that type of edge. We we can't get bullied by them because that's usually when they beat us before is when they come out more intense. They light up our players because they're on some soft sissy shit, right? And that's the reality. And it's a tale of two different games. We do that till AFC. We light them up, right? We're physical with them, which is why we've gotten better than them for a while.
Listen,
And now San Jose does that to us. Now we didn't last year. That shit changed in that game, and if we do that again, maybe, but I don't think we will. That's the problem.
Like I am interested in seeing if it does get to that physicality, if it does get into those tackles, what Cagliari and what Alves' response is to them, because like they played in both the Brazilian league and the Argentinian league, which hard tackles versus the rival team is it's something you're expected to do. Like if you're not walking out, if you're a defender, you're not walking out with at least a yellow card.
I mean, bro,
you did
fucking
wrong,
River Boca over the weekend was wild. 6 red cards,
Yeah, like that's the atmosphere. So like I want to see what I want to see
I don't
what
need
the
Alves
response
to get
is.
another yellow though.
I don't give a fuck. I just want to.
It'll be like his fourth yellow, dog, and then the next one is a fifth.
I hear you. I hear you. But like again, is these games, right? Is these games where like many of times we haven't had the right personnel to be able to compete with or stay in the match when it comes to like the physicality and it comes into like these dirty tackles of hard tackles coming in. I want to see what Caligari and all this are about because we already know what Cáceres is about. So I really want to see what the other two.
Yeah, I mean, Enrique, I know he's not the biggest guy, but he's not afraid to step up challenge. Brugman either.
Yeah.
I mean, Cáceres, we already know about Cáceres. Attitude. Dayon has his attitude, and so does Cheech. So these guys are not pushover. In the past, we have had those type of players. So I think that might be a help for us because at least we don't think we'll get bullied. They might be just because they're better, but
we're out here reaching, boys. We're out here trying to figure out what to say to save face. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. Let's go with predictions because I don't see it, boys. I'm trying to convince myself, but I don't see it. What are we thinking against San Jose?
3-0 L.
Same.
Fuck, I think so too.
Espinosa hat trick, dog.
3-0 L.
Espinosa 2, Cade Cowell 1.
Add fire to the ladder, baby.
And Bobasi another 2. We're losing like 5-0, dog.
Dog. Oh my. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna go with a 2-2. I'm gonna go with a 2-2. I'm gonna go with a 2-2, and we're getting 2 goals scored on early, and we'll scrape away with a fucking we'll scrape away with a tie, and I'll come in here pretending like it's a victory because that's as good as it got for me. So I think 2-2 draw. Angel, how much?
I'm gonna just have some fun with the shit since all you guys are gonna be on some negative shit. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change the mood a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit. I'm gonna pretend to be Rudy for a little bit just because it's funny. It's not gonna happen, but 4-2, we win. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like
Galaxy podcast, like Masa used to say back in the day,
dude,
when he had hope.
Before all hope died. Listen, like that, I would love that because that would be a win that the Galaxy need. A win like that where they can score multiple goals and be the better of your rival. Oh my God, Angel, hope you have something going on right now with you. Little man's wants a chip, and then you saying this, and the G's are gonna get better. Like I hope the whole aura is happening for you.
4 own goals by Shea Salinas, baby. Coming out of retirement, just scoring his own team, bro. That's how it's gonna go down.
Oh man, listen.
Straight from Twitter.
Mavinga?
Yeah. So just happening right now. 5 hours ago, there was a tweet that went out. At this point, a manager was. This is a
Toronto FC.
Toronto FC.
They lost today, and yeah.
Shut the fuck up! If you should have said it, you should have said it 5 hours ago.
I was waiting for it, bitch.
Shut up.
I was waiting for it.
All right. At this point, a manager with 0 plans and no schemes would be better than watching whatever Bob Bradley has them playing with. Just ended this nonsense. He's not turning it around now or never. Someone replied to that comment asking, "How are the Galaxy doing, my friend?" Chris Mavinga replied, "Same boat, my friend."
And that's his account too. He has 33K following, so it seems like it's a real account too. Like
this is a Greg Vanney guy. Played for Greg Vanney. Brought in by Greg Vanney. Wanted by Greg Vanney. If this man is saying these type of things, that's actually seeing the brighter side of Greg Vanney, what's everybody else in the locker room thinking?
Maybe Greg Vanney meant to bring Camavinga and he brought the wrong guy. See, maybe that's
That
what
guy
it
would have
is,
been.
dog.
That
Yeah,
would have
yeah,
been
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, man. Listen, I saw it and I didn't want to mention it because I hadn't vetted it. I wasn't sure if that was like a real thing or like a real tweet. I'm super skeptical of what's going on online right now. So, but it seems like it's real. Like that's his tweet. You can find it right now. It's still live. Says a lot. Says a lot because that's a public ass tweet.
Shout out to Anthony.
Shout out to Mayo. Shout out to Mayo. That's who I saw it from. So, shout out to him.
Oh no, Tony just texted me about it.
Either way, it's telling.
Romo texted me about it earlier, but I didn't believe him because you're always mad at him. So I want to go check and like, oh damn, that shit is legit.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Like I have to check. But yeah, it is telling. We have any questions? I don't know. I don't think we have got any questions.
I have an idea.
Which is okay because I'm trying to wrap this up. No, it doesn't seem like we have any questions. Not on the Discord, or is actually we do. I'm lying to you as fuck. George, you got him, or you got him.
Yeah, I got him. All right. Question comes from Antoine, the guy that just gave us this. What do y'all think about the Audio AS rumors of them firing folks capper now? We talked about this. We both have. We're all in for it. Some people have it mid-season. Some people have end of season. But I think the consensus is I hope they're talking to coaches starting now.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. What George said. Go back and watch it. Is the first part of the pod where we start talking about. After we talked about with Angel for a little bit, that's what we'll get into.
Okay. Next question comes from Juninho. Rudy, you were talking last part about how Klein out was never on the table, but did you really expect them to say otherwise? That seems a little naive to think they would just outwardly say that's on the table. Wasn't the boycott because we knew they would say that wasn't an option, and so we had to go to the most extreme of measures.
Now, let me explain what I meant by that and in the way I see it, right? Like, please, if you guys agree with me, get it. Like, this is what I see. But it had to be Klein out because if the hashtag is we want accountability for the previous 10 years of not meeting the mark, that doesn't stick, right? So like from the jump, it has to be Klein out so it can have that statement presence. So when I say that wasn't not gonna be on the table, it's not just the fact that they said that wasn't on the table. It's the fact that Klein got an extension, not because of the soccer operation, but because of the financial operation, which is doing well, right? So that's why it's not an option, because business wise, that's why they made the decision. It wasn't soccer wise. AG, Beckerman, anybody who's his superior is not basing his merit on what's going on in the field, but what's going on financially. And because that's not a problem for us, that's why he got the extension. That's why Klein out right now was not going to be an option, right? And I think like if you're saying by them saying that's not an option is naive in my end, is naive in your end to not understand the fact that like it's a money thing. Why Chris Klein is still in office, right? Because if it was purely all soccer operational, he would have been gone long ago. But this guy figured out how to be profitable, maybe not profitable, but how to stay within the black throughout the COVID years. That's gonna get you a fucking extension in any business because of economics and the way that the COVID, the pandemic impacted the economics. He's not gonna go out based on that. Just based on that, he wasn't gonna go.
We've talked about this in this pod a long time ago. This was a long time ago, and I remember this pod vividly where we talked about the expectations that we as fans have, where we align our expectations to what happens in South America, to what happens in Europe. People forget here that at the end of the day, this is a capitalistic league. Everything is based on money, right? Which is why, as of right now, we don't expect any pro rail happening within the next fucking 15, 20 years when people are spending hundreds of millions of dollars to buy a team in the league. The moment a team goes down, its value is going to decrease, right? And which is why we don't have that. And this is what people don't understand. It's at the end of the day, this is a business for them. This is not owned by the supporters. There's no socios here running that can oust the president and storm the presidential office and kick him out and threaten him with. It's just not going to happen here. And that's what people don't understand, right? They're like, oh, well, this has to happen. It's not going to happen. It's still a fucking business. This is AG we're talking about. Galaxy's still based on their ownership. We're in the top 5, top 6 richest countries. Richest clubs in the world, right?
Don't forget TikTok.
And TikTok, yes, exactly, the TikTok thing. But point is, if it's financially stable, is I understand why Chris Klein's there. I get it. We've talked about this. He's not going to go anywhere from AG. That's going to happen for sure. He will have a spot with AG. He's currently in the board of AG right now. What we don't want is him being around Galaxy operations because it's affecting our club. If you split that, that's a different story. But now, from what I understood, it's in writing now, correct? And correct me here if I'm wrong, because you guys know this better than I do. I've been checked out, and you guys know this. It's in writing where he says if we don't make Western Conference, he's out.
He's stepping aside from the club.
Right? Yeah. So that's an actual tangible. The fact that people expect us to be gone right now, that's not gonna happen. For as much as everyone here thinks that they care about us so much, AG, they care enough because they need our fucking money. Mm-hmm. But they don't give the rest shit about us, and that's the difference. Right now, it's hurting their pockets.
Yeah, listen, because at the end of the day, like the end of the year report showed that the big influx of money that came with the Herbalife fucking re-up
extension. Yep.
Mm-hmm. It came with the fact
Apple
that
TV money at that too. Mm-hmm.
It came with the fact that like whether people were butts were in the seats or not, like they had many sellouts throughout the year, so like that wasn't an issue, right? Like all these things when it comes to like the business side of things, when it comes to the economic side of things, are fine for the club. Like we have no problem when it comes to the economic side of the club. Where club is not in danger of the owners having a problem with the spend or the
they're not dealing with ACB financial issues, bro. There you go.
Nah, like all that is for real. Like all that is like all that is straightened out for them, and again, in that light is done well. Well, we have a problem with the stock operation stuff that is really shit. And that, unfortunately for AEG, which is who runs this fucking shit, comes secondary because financially we're stable. And that's why it was never going to be Klein out, in my opinion, right? And this is just that part right there is an assumption, not something that I'm saying is a fact that leadership was told and I was told that. Like that's an assumption I've made. So just to be clear, that's my assumption based on based on what I understand from business, and especially business in America, that I didn't see that happening at all. Either way, again, that's my opinion. I think Angel, you shared your opinion, which kind of aligns similar. Our opinion, we know this for a fact, no, but that's what I meant specifically when I had that conversation, when I had that remark last week. Mm-hmm. A little long-winded response, but I kind of wanted to clear that out because it was not the first person that kind of questioned that. Anything else, boys? Before
what was the question again?
The question was, it just said, it said,
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Okay. Anything else before we wrap up? Because that was the last question we have. Dope. For everybody who's still rocking with us, the 29 of you right now, please hit the like button. It really helps out a lot. It helps us get the content out to other people. I also want to apologize for all our audio listeners. I realized my AI workflow has not been working for the last 3 weeks. So no pod has been published on.
Is that what's going on? Okay.
Yeah, right. I wasn't aware of it. I'm sorry for not like kind of staying on top of that, but I'll fix the work. I'll do it manually this week, and I'll fix the workflow so it's doing automatic. Is being automatic going forward.
I've learned things to be poor because of this club. It's okay.
The expectations are low. Fuck.
Yeah,
I want to be better though. I want to be better, so I'll fix it and I'll arrange it. So again, audio listeners, I'm sorry for the last couple of weeks. I'll make sure that it's definitely there going forward every week. But with that being said, it's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm Rudy at I'm Smarts on Twitch. I'm Smarts on Twitter. I'm Smarts on the gram.
Have the Laker game on tomorrow on the big screen. Have the U.S. Open Cup on the small screen. Follow me at Johnny.
Hey, just go follow Eli. That's gonna make you guys happy. No, Eli_Luke. Oh wait, Eli Luke _. There you go. One of those two.
Just find it.
He wins. He's a champion. Go follow him.
Yep.
Peace, love, and G's up.
Peace. Y'all have a blessed night.